What if one of the most advanced missile defense systems on Earth suddenly faced a weapon it could not stop? Late reports began circulating about something unusual in the skies above Tel Aviv. A missile moving faster than most defense systems are designed to handle, a weapon capable of maneuvering mid-flight, and a target sitting at the heart of Israel's military leadership. Emergency sirens echoed across central Israel. Thousands of residents rushed toward reinforced shelters as radar systems scanned the sky and interceptor batteries prepared to respond. Now, analysts across the world are asking a single question. Did a hypersonic missile just slip through one of the most advanced defense networks on Earth? Because if that possibility turns out to be true, the strategic balance in the region could change in ways few people expected. Before we go deeper into what may have happened in the skies over Tel Aviv, take a moment to subscribe if you enjoy calm, thoughtful analysis of global conflicts, economics, and the events shaping international markets. And leave a comment below telling us where in the world you're watching from today. The night had already been tense across the Middle East, but reports soon began spreading that Iranian forces had launched hypersonic missiles toward the center of Tel Aviv. If accurate, this would represent one of the most serious technological escalations in the conflict so far. Observers immediately focused on one key detail: the type of weapon reportedly involved. Because hypersonic missiles are not ordinary missiles. They travel at extremely high speeds and can maneuver during flight, making them far more difficult to track and intercept than traditional ballistic weapons. For years, defense planners warned that hypersonic technology could change the balance between offensive and defensive military systems. And in this case, the concern was obvious. Israel maintains one of the most advanced missile defense networks in the world. Its systems are designed as multiple layers of protection against incoming rockets and missiles. Over the years, these systems have intercepted thousands of threats, earning a reputation as one of the most effective missile shields in operation. But hypersonic weapons introduce a completely different level of difficulty. Unlike ballistic missiles that follow predictable arcs through the atmosphere, hypersonic glide vehicles can alter their trajectory during flight. They also travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5, more than 5 times the speed of sound. At those speeds, the window for interception becomes incredibly small. By the time radar detects the incoming object, there may be only seconds to respond. Early reports suggested the missiles may have been aimed near a major defense complex in central Tel Aviv. This location serves as one of Israel's central military command centers. Any missile directed toward that area would carry enormous strategic and symbolic significance. Around the same time those reports emerged, emergency sirens sounded across several districts of central Israel. Residents moved quickly toward reinforced shelters, following emergency procedures that have become familiar during periods of heightened tension. But this situation felt different. The potential involvement of hypersonic technology introduced a new level of uncertainty. Missile interception normally follows several steps. First, radar must detect the incoming object. Second, systems must determine whether the object is a threat. Third, command networks decide which interceptor battery should respond. Finally, interceptor missiles are launched toward the predicted impact point. Each step takes time. Hypersonic weapons compress that entire timeline. Because they travel at extreme speeds and can maneuver during flight, predicting their path becomes far more difficult. Even the most advanced defense systems must operate under intense time pressure. That is why military planners around the world have expressed growing concern about hypersonic technology over the past decade. Major powers have invested heavily in developing their own versions of these weapons. Many analysts describe hypersonic systems as the next major stage in missile warfare. For Iran, pursuing hypersonic capabilities fits into a broader military strategy. Instead of attempting to match the military spending of its rivals, Iran has often focused on developing technologies designed to bypass advanced defenses. Missile development has been central to that strategy. Iran has previously claimed that its hypersonic missile programs can maneuver during the final stage of flight, making interception extremely difficult. Independent verification of these claims remains difficult, but even the possibility of such capabilities forces defense planners to reconsider their assumptions. While military analysts studied radar data and missile trajectories, another group was watching closely: economists, investors, business leaders. Because geopolitical events in the Middle East rarely remain confined to the battlefield. The region sits at the center of critical global energy routes. Even a single military incident can ripple outward through financial markets, commodity prices, and investor sentiment. Energy markets are often the first to react. If traders believe conflict could threaten oil supply routes, prices can rise quickly. One key concern is the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway carries a significant portion of the world's oil shipments every day. Any disruption to that route could have immediate global consequences. During moments of geopolitical uncertainty, investors often move towards so-called safe haven assets. Gold is one of the most well-known examples. Historically, demand for gold rises during major geopolitical crises as investors seek protection from market volatility. Government bonds and other defensive investments may also see increased demand. Meanwhile, industries dependent on global supply chains can experience the opposite effect. Rising fuel costs, disrupted shipping routes, and economic uncertainty can increase operating costs across many sectors. Defense industries, however, often experience increased investment during such periods as governments accelerate military spending. As the situation developed, attention slowly shifted toward the most important question of all. How would Israel respond? In conflicts involving major regional powers, the response phase can be even more decisive than the initial event. Governments must consider not only the immediate damage, but also long-term deterrence. If a country believes attacks will bring severe consequences, it may hesitate before acting again. But if that perception weakens, the risk of further escalation grows. For this reason, responses to high-profile attacks are often designed to demonstrate strength. Several options exist in situations like this. One possibility is targeted military strikes against missile facilities or launch infrastructure. Another involves cyber operations designed to disrupt communications or military systems. There's also the possibility of broader international coordination if tensions escalate further. But responses must be carefully calculated. History shows how quickly cycles of retaliation can spiral into larger conflicts. A single strike leads to retaliation. Retaliation triggers another response. Each step raises the stakes. Balancing deterrence and escalation becomes one of the most difficult challenges for policymakers. Whether fully confirmed or not, the reported incident highlights a much larger transformation in global security. Weapons once limited to experimental programs are now appearing in real conflicts. Defense systems once considered nearly impenetrable are facing new challenges, and geopolitical tensions can move global financial markets faster than ever before. For investors, policymakers, and businesses around the world, the lesson is clear. In today's interconnected global economy, military events and economic consequences are more closely linked than many once believed, which leaves one final question hanging over the entire region. Was this simply another escalation in an already volatile conflict? Or was it the first signal of a new and far more unpredictable era of strategic competition? If you found this analysis useful, subscribe for more clear, thoughtful breakdowns of global conflicts, economic shifts, and the events shaping international markets. And let us know in the comments, do you think hypersonic weapons will change the balance of global military power?